Good afternoon, children. So we will move towards now the next topic, new towns and the traders. So let us see. In the 16th and 17th centuries, European countries were searching for spices and textiles which had become popular both in Europe and the West Asia. You know, they had come all these what we can say these foreign countries, whatever it may be, the British or it may be the Portuguese, it may be the Dutch. Why they had come here? For the main their motto was to come to India was trade. And what they were attracted for? They were attracted by for our silk and as well as our cotton, our silk clothes, cotton clothes, as well as what? The spices. And the whatever the we are having, the diamonds, right, the gold, they were attracted by that. And you can see here spices and textiles had become popular both in Europe and the West Asia. So these spices had become popular where? They were for the Europe and the West Asia. So the English, Dutch and French formed what? East India companies in order to expand their commercial activities in the East, that is buying and selling of the goods and services. Initially great Indian traders like Mullah Abdul Ghaffar and Virji Ora, who owned a large number of ships, competed with them. So these were the people who had competed with whom? With these with the India, with the foreign traders, right? Indian traders like who? Mullah Abdul Ghaffar and Virji Ora. They had given competition for them in a trade. For whom they had given the competition? For the East India companies of the Dutch, English and French. Let us know now. However, the European companies used their naval power to gain control of the sea trade and forced Indian traders to work as their agents. So what happened here? European company used their naval power. Naval power means their ships. They had very good kind of the ships. Their ship was able to sustain the quantity of the goods and services to transport. No, the ship should be very good. They were taking lot of quantity of the goods and services from India to the Britain, and their ships were huge ships, big ships they were having, right? So they were controlling the sea trade from India to the Britain, and Indian traders were forced to work as their agents, right? So Indian traders, they have to work as agents under the British merchants. Ultimately, the English emerged as the most successful commercial and political power in the subcontinent. So because their naval power was very strong, so what they became? They became successful in the commercial and also the political power in the subcontinent. The spurt in demand for goods like textiles led to a great expansion of the crafts of spinning, weaving, bleaching, dyeing, etc., with more and more people talking them up. So here there is a spurt, there is a demand for goods like textiles, which had led to the great expansion of the crafts of spinning, weaving, bleaching, dyeing, etc., with more and more people were employed in it. Indian textile designs became increasingly refined. So Indian textiles, they were learning, they were using it, and they were very much impressed by the quality of the cloth which was manufactured in India, and the dyeing of the cloth, they were very much happy, and they were the consumers who were using these type of the cloths, they were all satisfied with the quality of the Indian cloth. However, this period also saw the decline of the independence of craft persons. They now began to work on a system of advances, which meant that they had to view cloth which was already promised to European agents. So there was a decline in the craftsmen. Also, the craft persons also they have gone through the decline because they had taken the advances. Advances means the loans to work to view the cloth which was already promised for the European agents. Weavers no longer had the liberty of selling their own cloth or weaving their own patterns. They had to reproduce the designs supplied to them by the company agents. Now they were forced to do the designs that were told by the British agents. They were not allowed to make their own designs. Whatever the company has given them the designs, they have to prepare the same designs and supply it to the company agents. The 18th century saw the rise of Bombay. So during the 18th century, what it saw that the Bombay has emerged as a big city. Bombay, Calcutta and Madras, which are the nodal cities today. Nodal cities means which are the popular cities, metropolitan cities in India. Today, in those days, they had emerged. They saw the rise, they saw the upliftment of these cities, that is the Bombay, Calcutta and Madras. Crafts and commerce underwent major changes as merchants and artisans such as weavers were moved into the black towns established by the European companies within these new cities. So what happened here? Crafts and commerce such as commerce underwent what? Major changes. Major changes means they had underwent lot of changes as the merchants and artisans such as weavers were moved into the black towns. They were moved where? To the black towns established by the established by the European companies within these new cities. So within these new cities, the European companies were established. The blacks or native traders and craft persons were confined here, while the white rulers occupied the superior residences of Fort St. George in Madras or Fort St. William in Calcutta. So here you can see our merchants and our artisans, our weavers, where they were moving, they were made to move into the black towns established by whom? By the European companies within the new cities. The blacks or the native traders and craft persons were confined to a small place there, but where these white people were living? White rulers were living. They were occupied the superior residences of the Fort St. George in Madras or Fort St. William in Calcutta. See, this was how what we can say the condition of the craft persons, artisans in those times, right? The story of crafts and commerce in the 18th century will be taken up in the next year. So the story of the crafts and commerce in the 18th century will be taken up in the next year. So let us see now Vasco da Gama and the Christopher Columbus. In the 15th century, European sailors undertook unprecedented explorations of the sea routes. They were driven by